Today's topic is ball position, and we're going to cover something which is very, very often overlooked, but it is so important and it's going to help you play better golf. So welcome back to the Forest of Arden. Today's topic, as we said there, is ball position, and we're going to cover something which is so important to be aware of when you're checking your ball position, because it can hugely influence your shots on the golf course. So today's lesson plan is really not to cover so much what the ball position should be, but how we measure that ball position, and something you can use as a checkpoint. That's really important, and that's going to help us with our shots out on the course in terms of consistency and also achieving the right flight when we're potentially trying to change that. Just before we get into the content, if you're not subscribed, I'd love you to join the community. There is a link in the description box, so pop down there now, give that a click, hit the little bell icon as well. That just means you'll be notified each time I do upload a video. So, ball position. I've got myself a 6-iron. So let's assume that I wanted the ball in the middle of my stance. Now, when I was learning the game and when I first started coaching, I always related ball position to feet. It was either middle of my feet, or it was towards my lead heel, or it was inside my back heel, or it was 2/3 forwards, whatever it may be, and I was moving the golf ball around in my stance. I don't do that anymore. I use a different reference point, and we're going to show you why. So let's say I wanted this golf ball in the middle of my heels, or in the middle of my stance, I should say. I'm sure we can appreciate that the golf club effectively moves around my body on this big circle point, and the reason that we're setting the ball at various points with our clubs is because we want to hit that ball at the right part of the circle. That's really important. So if I moved my head away from the target and towards the target, I'm sure we would agree that that circle would move with me. The centre of that circle, or the hub, if you like, of that circle is my upper body. It's not my lower body, it's my upper body. So what would happen if I set the ball in the middle of my heels and that golf ball was being hit at the bottom of that circle? Let's say that's what I wanted. If I was to do this, the circle has moved, the golf ball is now being hit at a very different part of that circle. Effectively, that ball is now too far back. It's being hit too soon, but it's still in the middle of my feet. If I move this way, that golf ball is now far too far forwards. Again, I'm going to hit that at a very different part of the circle, but it is still in the middle of my feet. So having the ball in the middle of my feet does not mean that the ball position is in the middle of me. I could have the ball in the middle of my feet and have my head too far this way. So the ball is now too far forward. So if you see the ball middle of your heels, unfortunately, that doesn't mean the ball is positioned correctly. So what do we tend to see potentially as we move the ball position around? Well, potentially if I've got myself a long iron, so let's grab my 2-iron. This is a club that I hit off the tee. I would like this golf ball to be further forward, more up in my stance. But what I often see is a golfer will kind of take this address position, and you can see how relative to my feet, that ball is probably, you know, some 2 inches inside my heel. But relative to my upper body, it's pretty much right in the middle. So that ball position is middle. It's middle of me. Yes, it looks forward of my feet, but it's in the middle of me. So this ball position is too much in the middle. From here, I'm going to struggle with this golf. I'm going to hit it too low, or I'm going to start to back up in order to hit it correctly. I'm not going to be able to swing the club consistently. If we go to the other extreme, and we get a golfer who's potentially trying to flight the ball a little bit lower, what they may well do is they may well set the ball more back in their stance, but they'll often lean back with it. This golf ball is middle. Even though it's inside my back foot, and if we just use the feet, we'd say the ball is back, it's in the middle of me. We also see that with driver. We see the driver getting forward and the golfer sort of tipping their body in this fashion here to sort of get themselves so they can see the club and the ball more in line with them, and again, that ball position is incorrect. So the golf ball position should be related to your sternum. That's the zip, that's the buttons on your top. If you want the ball in the middle, your buttons need to be in line with that golf ball. If I want the ball forwards, I need to have my buttons behind, and if I want the ball back, I need to have my buttons in front. So it's really, really important that when we're looking at ball position, we appreciate what the ball is really being related to. It really should be related to your upper body. Now, you can definitely have a reference point in your feet, that's absolutely fine, but it's really understanding how it relates to your upper body, and that is the key thing with ball position. So, 6-iron, I'm going to have this a touch forward of centre. So I'm hoping to get the zip just behind the golf ball. That's going to allow me to deliver the club as I want. And that's going to give me the best chance of being consistent, getting the right flight I want, and the right direction that I want as well. I did a video fairly recently on the importance of ball position. I'll link that in the corner here somewhere. Go and watch that one, because these two videos will really open your eyes, I think, to how important ball position is and how important you get it correct for your golf swing. And that's a really important message here. Thanks for watching. Usual stuff down below, comments box, like button, all that kind of stuff. Please share this video if you think you know someone who could benefit from it, and hopefully we'll see you back here again soon.